Today we're going to be doing the Illinois test, which is a type of change of direction agility test. It's typically a longer change of direction test because it's beyond 6 seconds to perform the test. What we find is that there's a relationship with this test to what we call linear sprint ability and also the lower limb change of direction. So today we have a netball athlete that is going to be performing this test. What we've done just before we get the athlete to do the test is that we've actually checked the surface that we're using here today. We'll move the camera in a minute just to show the setup that we've done to make sure that the markers are in the right spot for the Illinois test. And particularly we're going to demonstrate how to do the pattern of the Illinois test. There's a very particular way that we like them to do this test. One of the things as well that we've also encouraged people when you're performing the Illinois test with a group of athletes is that we have a very standardised warm-up that we do for the athletes, particularly so that there's similarity across whether it's repeat testing today or future testing of the same athlete. What we also like to do is, once we've done this demonstration, is that we allow the athlete to have a bit of a run through themselves so that they're familiar with the pattern to make sure that they're doing it correctly. We'll give them a couple of minutes of rest and then we'll get them to perform the test while being timed. Now we're allowed to have the athlete demonstrate for us to make sure that they understand the correct pattern for the Illinois test. Okay, athlete, when you're ready. Athlete, when you're ready. So as you can see, we've successfully completed the test. One of the things that I guess what we've failed to do is organising the test today. Even though we're in a brand new facility here, it's the only indoor facility we have access to, is that the floor surface being new is actually still quite slippery. We did try to prepare the floor in terms of being able to make sure the floor was swept, free of dust, and also the athlete had clean shoes. So unfortunately on our part, we've been able to provide a safe surface to perform the test on. However, the feedback that we've given the athlete and a few notes that we have is particularly what we noticed here is that this is not a reaction drill because there's a predetermined pattern that we're asking the athlete to look at. What we can also see from the demonstration of the athlete is that there's definitely some opportunity there of leg dominance, particularly in the way that we manoeuvre through the markers. But it is a really good test for us to see a change of direction and particularly linear speed that we look at from that perspective. Some feedback to the athlete obviously would be that once we perform the test successfully once, we would give them a measured break of 2 to 4 minutes, and then we would ask the athlete to perform the test again to have a comparative data to allow us to see that obviously as the athlete learns the pattern, they're going to improve and they're more focused on performing and executing the pattern faster versus learning the pattern, which is something that we have found through research has shown that there's commonality there as the athletes get more familiar with the test.